Whataawina le matanga wengo le procurement i le masino mati. Ma ua pasi le senate ma ua tuina atu i le mautou sui bolo na iloiloina.
O te whaatalo whantu i se whaupoponga o tala mai lau KVZK nei vaenga o le afiafi. Ai le i amtalia por kalama masani o afiafi e alai le tu inatu o taulumanga molo o tausi la fia. E mo mua na whaapoipoi la au tu vanu i le whaafongaanga le atunu i nei afiafi. E tu sai ma se sasi tu tono se tasio whaasaralaunga i se aso o tea e tusa ma le whaai lau i loina o le tofinga o le sisunga i le komisina o le matangaluenga o le puipuinga lau tele. O le tala le atunu e poto lava le tautai e iai lava taimi e sasiai o na avea lea ma lape suia ato ai le tangata mo na mafufonga. Ma tau te asuatu vai malu i puenga i lau whaafonga anga Amerika Samoa ai maise le sisunga i le komisina le tau whai le tō ia taanga sa i te mulinga. A whai ua le so o lo pale le tauru titi la mātou au nanga. Ma ua iai fo i se ela i le tautua lau whale whaasaralau ia whale i le atua o tau whinangalo malama. Manuia lau mai moa, ma lau whaafonganga, i tala mai lau KVZK TV de nei afiafi. I tātou tala tomua i se pepo whaamtalanga na tu ina mai tarui nei, o loo whaamauni ai le tōwhia e le awhionga le kovana sili ia pula li ini ko lau pula, le lo ia sili le malo ia kuen tau ili Lankilde, ma Governor's Authorized Representative Polikar.
O le matafa yo i le car da ua i le FEMA State Agreement.
Lea o lo whaamantalai nai, le whaatautai o Porokalama visonsoani le whenturale. E anga i le tofia ina o le car, e mauti no ai, e le kovana o lo iai se pulenga e ngafa, ma le whaafue ina o nei Porokalame, e whai masui o le stente, ma lo whaaloto i whale, ma isi visonsoani po nono ngā tupe. E au fiai, le vaavaai o le tufa ino visonsoani le whenturale, ma le wha maupo poina, o tau mawhainga ina ia whaafaingo fie, le toi whaaleleia pe a mai ani whaalavelave. O le tausisi o nei mana o ngai mana o mia, mo le wha mausalia ina, o le lango whaawamo le whenturale, ma le whaatupenga, mo le toi whaaleleia. E pe ona si le fio le masina le nei o mati o avema masina wha manatu a le procurement po o le matanga ruenga o te ulo a le territory. E le ngata i tutonu o le malo ai wha apea tutonu o company ma pisinisi taitasi. E te lele sao le official procurement i tutonu o le territory. I le wha soa ina o oloa, talosanga ina ma mo'omia e ofisa taitasi le malo. E wha atatitia ma wha iloa a yainga i la lotu la fono i te tau na savalia e matanga ruenga taitasi. Ina ia savalia le tu la fono, ma wha maoni i le wha lawi loa ina o le tani atu i mana o ngā mai ofisa taitasi. Na sau noa le awhionga le kovana silia pula li ini ko lau pula, e apoa i ma wha malo si au, le savalia e le au whai ngā luenga le official procurement, ala tau ngā luenga i to tono le whai ngā malo.
O le official nei o procurement, i lau whalonglongo atu i le whaitauinga o le proclamation le whapeo le masina o mati le whapitoa i ngā luenga le official nei o procurement. The word that I was able to catch from all the words is value. Value. O le tātou scripture len whaitauina ia Roma valu luas fulvalu. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to His purpose. Ole orngaluenga le umatato orngaluenga le atua e mo I lava lo tala le faiatu taluai o tato I nei mesa I nei Samoa. You know, o to tele tato na wa wina mai o onga me say malofa democracy. There is a separation of state and church. Au nei Samoa. E to ale yes a separation. O mea umalava e mo muale atu, e o lau fo I mea le malo, o e ngai o inga ma tūlanga umol tato malo. E a saulau ta vale mai tūla, po o ne noa e oi whangamalo. A e whaita uina le tele o whale sā. O nei loa lea pe te sila fia. O tangata whatuatuaina. Tangata te talo. Ai a vese era le amio. O amio ia e ese mai ama le kele o whale sā ma kakoloko. But o le ngaruenga la lea a o tau le procurement. O le value. As Ken was reading le proclamation. E tele nam nau upu le sa wai. Al upu le na whatau e na o le value. E sila fia le o tō. O ngā luenga malo le official procurement. A le. E mui le atunu. A le whamaoni le whainga o kong kalate. A pisinisi ma whainga luenga malo. E mui foi le atunu. O te le tau le pua malafo. Au leo te tau tarasa atu lava. O le sine ofisa. O matua mana o nia. Le whainga le lei ma le whamaoni. A le lei tai. E le aias tai le anga. Pea le lei tangata la te ngā luluhina ngā luenga. E lau tutununga. It's time for this procurement office to restore the faith of our citizens, of our people. O mana mi e tātou tangata na tui whatu tuina i le malo. Ai a le whamaoni. Ma le whaia ngā luenga ta tau ma ngā luenga sao. E le au maia fo i tātou tangata nuu le whatuatua i to tonu a tātou ngā luenga. O leia te au le nganga moni lava. E le ai asa whi au al kovana ma le official kovana e fia pule mai fo i ngā luenga al procurement. O ngā luenga al procurement e te tau o na whailonga tutusa uma. I tangata nuu ma kon kalate mpisinisi o loo mai e fia suel manuia o lato ngā luenga ma mea te tau mo le atunu.
Na autasi le senate i se tūlafona tau whaawhi e toi teu teu wai tupe teu whaawhai ngā ruenga o tupe whaanganga e sini atu I mana o ngā lo mana o mia I le teminei ina e mawhai ai e le wha lapo tuputonga o le litaya tangata whai ngā ruenga le malo Amerika Samoa o na whaawhai ngā ruenga tupe I tutono le atunu e au noa manita pulaa. Sau tenanga le nei o le wipunti. O le ua wina atu le nei pili le mautou sui mo lo na whaamauni eina. O le mafuango le nei pili, o na o loo vaaya I ripunti e le utalawhia ngai le se leni, o lo itu tono le teu ngā tupe le ritaya, ma taulu manga ma vaenga uma, e whao ngai nai le vaenga tupe tangata whai ngā luenga. O lo na winga, o lo wa ofia I tonu, o le tau ma whainga ina I e whetau I le se leni, o lo ave ese mai I tangata whai ngā luenga, ma vaenga e whao ngai nai e pe o le tupe maua le tangata, pe a ritaya I le teibinei. Whapea le tupe maua e tausanga ritaya o I luma, o se popolenga, ina nei whao ngai na le telo tupe le ritaya I le nei vaitau, ai wha le tonu ai le tupe maua tangata whai ngā luenga I le luma nai. I le utoi pose lilo, sa ia I le si tango tupe tu e sea tangata whai ngā luenga, mai ala tu siaki tausanga umawai, mo le ritaya e ala I se tasio pili sa pasia I le tolu tausanga tanuai, I le se fulu wha pasene, na vavai ese mai siaki tangata whai ngā luenga I le tausanga lua whelua lua, se fulu fitu pasene, I le tausanga lua whelua tolu, ma le lua se fulu pasene, na toe whao popo I tupe ava ese, mo le ritaya le tangata whai ngā luenga I le tausanga na te nei lua o lua wha. E iwa miliona na whao ngā ina le malo mai le teu ngā tupe le ritaya, e o mai le te minei, e le ito e tutongina. Ini sio tala ele o malolo le matanga ruenga le soifo malolo ina ia longolongo pui ali I sio tātu tunu. E tu saima se tāsio vairusi o lo vaaya ia afianga I le whanawiti.
E pe ona whaamawina ua ngai ilunga le whai numero alo ma whanau o lo au towa antu le mautanga senga se le LBJ. Whapea whale mai whai tu manlo. O lo whaamaunia iaungo le nei virusi o le RSV. E tu saima reporti o nisi o le whanau whaamaunia e lua se lau tolu se furwha o lo nao whainga. E lima se furulima nisi o ilantou fou ua whaamaunia iaungo le nei virusi. Ma o lo whaamaunia mai foi. E tu sa ma le toa se furu ilantou o lo whata o tolia i le mautanga se ona o le nei whaamai. E pei ona sila fio le aso na fisa whaatino i nai se whonutanga, a le matanga luengo le soithi fumalo loina, e whaamanino i le atu no utulanga uma e au ona tausisia, ina ia fo ia le pipisi o le nei ngase. Saunoa manino fo i le whaatonu ia Dr. Saipale Fuimono, e tu sai ma lea mata upu.
Mo le malamalanga le tatu atunu ia taitunu le upo se lilo, i le tulanga fo i le tatu RSV, ia pei ona o tano momo ia, o se virusi i no taipea o le flu le ana sau no atu format. Ia ia ungo le tawhelesu se tu lo le whaafonga le tatu atunu. O le tale ma tulanga whapena. O le popolenga la ia i mātou nei, ia i mise lava tatu whanau ia i lalo mai le 5 tausanga. Patino lava i tatu pepe fou. Ono o le popolenga ia o latu tino le mua pea e le o lava le puipuinga mai a tatu whamai pipisi. Peila le tano mai forma ia o fautuanga lava ina ia pui e o tato walum whanau mo mua la le o le tulanga le o le ave o lo walo i ai mese lava i whatasinga e le lotu e iei tulanga o tato pinko wai o te tatonu iei lava tato matu o lo ave a tato whanau o le tulanga fo i o lo iei nei ia o le popolenga o iei o to tele lava tatu whai numero o alum whanau e mese lava tatu pepe. Wa whai loa mai le tatu whanmai i whangaaru ia. Wa to tele lava wa tawhia ia ai mese fwoi. Wa e wa uma whai susu enga wa uman whaamaunia ia ono o le mafua angale o RSV. Ia o pe lava o le manulai tia le alimtangan wenga o soi fua maloloin o le puipuia. Wa fautua mai la ia fo mai ia me se fo fa moenga o tatu tanoanga ni taiao ia pui lo walo pe la ia tatu tatu te kele o stemi o luman tu atu le lava no tatu social service ai o fa moe lava ina ia pui le pipisi pe o tulanga na le taufia tatu take care mo le ne foi vai aso e fai ti le pipisi o tatu fa mai ai tatonu e fautua lava o tātou mātua. Ia tātou mātua. A whapea lava o a whaina lo walo. Pe mai pe tawhi le isu se tu lou. Tam whai lava o la mea i tūlanga ia tātou no whanga ia mo leo fo i tautua.
I tātou tala mai a pia ua molia nei se tasi o lii sa ia tua ia le company va lele o le Samoa e whapea o loo au inatu i Samoa ni whala au whaasaina mai nei le territory e whaongai nai e le company ni pusa maliu. Na whaamaunia mai le komisino leo ia ua paulong e tino Filipo le tauwhio mauhanti le to ese le vaiaso na te nei o le aso tofi na te tala i tua o ia i la lotu utuunga e au ona ia sia le ofisa leo ia pia i aso wharai le uma ma whaasa ona ia toi whaiani whaamtalanga i lunga upenga ta whailangi. Na tau e awa pa au e whaapea o le aso sfuma le limo aprila le ua whaatulanga e tula iai o ia i lumo le whaamsinonga whaitu malo. Na whauruina e le Samoa Airways se tangi i le ofisa leo e whaasanga ia hunt ina ua ia whaia le telo tua inga sise i lunga upenga ta whailangi. O le masina na te nei na ia ta wai e whapea o lo la wantu e le company va lele ni pusa maliu po empty coffin mai nei Amerika Samoa o lo iei to tonu whala au whaasaina. I se pepo whaamtalanga le Samoa Airways na ia ta wai o nei tua inga e le whaavaea na lātou whaamawhaina o lo ia lātou ta iala mawhainga e whaamauti no ai le saunga le mu ma le whaalolongia o whelaua inga o tino maliu ma na te ena e le company va lele tua inga na whaia e hunt. Ma o tātou tala mulimuli o tala mai le Pasifika. Wa lapata ia e malo au whaatasi e whaapeo tamaiti Pasifika o loo whengai ma le matautia o le mawulunga o sawanga o loo whengai mai latou o loo tulanga mawulunga i le lalo langi atoa.
O nei mata upu e mafua mai le lava au nanga fa tu peine le malo I fa lave fa de lontu manga nu ma le fa teleina o le fa ngai no fa la au fa saina a o poto mai sui mai atu no es fun ma fitu I fiti fa tasi ai ma fa la putonga fa leanga fe sotai ma pa anga mo le amatanga o le fonotanga fa le soifua malo loina mo te maiti Pasifika wa fa di ai le fa nantinati o le tulanga na sau noa le sui le UNICEF ya Jonathan e fa pea o fai numera sa la tu taradoina e matautia le mabulunga e wi lava le matango fie ma le tamau ai ngo le tulangi o le Pasifika ai o lo fia ngai lava ta mai tai mali I talavou ma du I tau onga e lama ti ai lo la tu suifua maduia o ngā duengo lo fa ngasoro le teminei o le tau mawhai e whaia ni fuafuanga mani awala ina ia fo I ai lama tianga masawanga o lo fia ngai mawhanau o le Pasifika.
Usi mai lau mai mua, ile se va ingo le tātu tau whapefo I tūlanga le tai. O le whai unga nao tātu tala I ngana Samoa mai lau KVZK TV whaafteitele le whaatesi le tātu tunu manuia tele whai ngā malulonga rea fiafi tō whāsifua.
Governor appointed Attorney General as Governor's authorized representative. Governor reminds procurement professionals of their vital role. And the Senate unanimously approved the retirement bill.
Talofa and welcome to your evening news on KVZK TV. Before we proceed with today's headlines, we would like to take a moment to address an oversight from our news segment on February 26 this year. During that broadcast, we incorrectly aired the title of the police commissioner, which may have confused our viewers and the community. We sincerely apologize to our audience and police commissioner, Ta'anga sa ite mulinga, for this error. And we appreciate your understanding, and we strive to provide accurate and respectful reporting. First up in the news, in a recent announcement, Governor Pulali Nicolau Pula has officially appointed Attorney General Quen Tauili Lankilde as the governor's authorized representative, or CAR. Here is more on this report.
This appointment was confirmed in a general memorandum issued by the governor, dated the 3rd of March. The role of the governor's authorized representative, or GAR, is essential in the FEMA state agreement, which outlines the administration of federal disaster assistance programs. By appointing a GAR, the governor ensures that there is a responsible authority for managing these programs on behalf of the state, local governments, and various grants or loan recipients. This involves overseeing the distribution of federal assistance and coordinating efforts to streamline the recovery process after disasters. In addition to her responsibilities, Attorney General Lankilde will be responsible for ensuring that the state complies with the terms and conditions outlined in the FEMA state agreement. Adhering to these requirements is essential for securing continued federal support and funding for recovery initiatives. This memorandum also designates Lieutenant Governor Pula Matala Ai Jr. as the alternate guard who will aid the primary representative in fulfilling these vital duties. This structure guarantees that there is always a designated point of contact for federal agencies and local leaders during disaster response and recovery efforts. Joyetta Fengai Mali with your news on KVZK.
March has been dedicated to the public procurement profession, which is critical to the effective and efficient operation of government departments and agencies.
The Office of Procurement held a ceremony this morning to launch its activities at its headquarters in Tafuna. Governor Pulali'i Nicolau Pula stressed the word value during today's ceremony. He said that God places people where they are. The calling comes from Him. The governor referenced a high wall between church and state to keep the wilderness of government out of the affairs of religion. There is a deeply rooted belief in Samoa that God is at the forefront of all actions and decisions. This principle permeates various aspects of life, including governance. Samoans prioritize their faith in every undertaking, ensuring that their values and spiritual convictions guide personal choices and the functioning of their government. This commitment to putting God first is a distinctive aspect of Samoan culture, reflecting spirituality's profound influence on community and leadership. The governor emphasized the critical importance of integrity in procurement work. If the procurement process fails, substantial criticism from the public and relevant stakeholders will likely be provoked. Moreover, any lack of honesty in contract administration could lead to significant backlash, ultimately undermining public confidence in the system. He acknowledged that the Office of Procurement faces considerable challenges and expressed the urgent need to reinforce a steadfast commitment to honesty and transparency. The governor articulated the procurement office's need to implement decisive measures to restore public trust. He underscored that in the absence of integrity, the public's confidence in governmental operations will diminish, resulting in long-lasting repercussions for governance and public relations. Furthermore, the governor assured the Office of the Governor should maintain a clear boundary from the procurement office's daily operations. It is imperative that the procurement office function independently and is capable of managing its affairs effectively, adhering rigorously to established procedures and protocols. This autonomy will facilitate a more efficient process and positively influence public perception of procurement activities. A proclamation issued by the governor notes that the Office of Procurement is dedicated to ensuring the best value for taxpayer dollars, while continuously enhance its skills and knowledge to serve the community better. Procurement professionals are crucial in establishing fairness and competition in the procurement process, which benefits the government, businesses, and the people of American Samoa. They play a significant role in the territory's economy by managing millions of taxpayers' dollars in purchasing power supporting the public and private sectors. Procurement success relies on the teamwork and cooperation of elected officials, department heads, staff, purchasing agents, and the vendor community. Procurement professionals within the American Samoa government are dedicated to upholding the values of accountability, ethics, impartiality, professionalism, service, and transparency set by the National Institute of Governmental Purchasing. Furthermore, the Governmental Purchasing has designated March as Procurement Month to emphasize the essential role that procurement professionals have in government, business, and industry. Joyetta Fengai Mali with your news on KVZK.
The Senate unanimously approved a bill to amend the investment of reserves exceeding current requirements to allow the American Samoa Government Employees Retirement Fund to invest monies locally without unnecessary restrictions.
The bill now goes to the House of Representatives for endorsement. According to the bill, the retirement fund is underfunded, and the current assets and projected future contributions are insufficient to meet retirees' expected future benefit obligations. The situation poses a considerable financial risk as it could deplete the fund's resources, jeopardizing the retirement security of current and future beneficiaries. The underfunded liability aspect of the fund is the gap between what we need to pay in the future and what we have saved up today. Addressing this unfunded liability is crucial to ensure the fund's long-term sustainability and fulfill the commitment made to our public servants. Without adequate measures, such as increasing our contributions and allowing more flexible investment strategies, the retirement fund will struggle to maintain its solvency and meet its obligations, ultimately affecting the financial stability and well-being of the community. Furthermore, the bill noted that the fund requires greater flexibility to invest funds in local infrastructure to alleviate some unfunded liability. Repealing the American Samoa Code annotated on this section will allow the retirement fund to invest locally without unnecessary restrictions, thereby increasing potential revenue streams. Local investments can boost economic activities, create jobs, and generate additional income for the fund. This approach helps raise revenues and support the growth of our local economy. Furthermore, these investments can lead to improved infrastructure, better services, and enhanced quality of life for residents of American Samoa. The bill further notes that American Samoa must manage its economic growth. Local infrastructure investment is innovative, responsible, and necessary for future development. They can significantly increase revenues and reduce the retirement fund's unfunded liability by removing the cap on local investments. This strategic move ensures the fund's long-term sustainability, providing financial security for current and future retirees. Additionally, it promotes self-reliance and resilience within the community, positioning American Samoa for lasting economic prosperity. By empowering the retirement fund to make wise local investments, we are investing in the future of our people and the strength of our economy. As reported earlier, a bill passed 3 years ago allows for an annual increase in the combined contributions from employers and employees to the retirement fund, raising the rates from 10% to 14% in 2022, 17% in 2023, and 20% during the last fiscal year. Previous reports by KVZK TV indicated that when the new administration took office, the government had $9 million in unpaid contributions to the American Samoa Government Employees Retirement Fund, as Governor Pulali'i Nikolaupula reported in his State of the Territories address. Joya Tafengai Mali'i with your news on KVZK.
In other news, the Department of Health continues to stress the urgent need for the public to closely follow health alerts and notices in efforts to mitigate the growing community transmission of respiratory diseases. In a press conference yesterday, epidemiologist Adam Conrote highlighted a significant uptick in the number of patients presenting with respiratory symptoms at the LBJ Hospital emergency room in recent weeks.
As of this reporting period, we have identified a total of 234 confirmed RSV cases within the territory. Cases remain high, particularly among pediatric patients at LBJ Hospital. Over the past reporting period, we recorded 55 new cases and 10 hospital admissions. While we continue to monitor hospitalization rates closely, we emphasize the need for heightened community awareness and preventative measures to help slow the spread. Due to persistently high RSV transmission, the Department of Health, in consultation with LBJ Hospital and our surveillance team, has decided to extend the closure of all daycare facilities for an additional week. Moving forward, we will reassess the situation on a weekly basis and provide timely updates to the public. We recognize the challenges this presents for families, but this decision is made in the best interest of protecting our children from further exposure. To help curb transmission, we advise parents of infected children and individuals who have been in close contact with RSV cases to take the following precautions. Keep infected children at home and avoid public gatherings until they are symptom-free for at least 24 hours. Ensure children receive adequate rest, hydration, and medical care as needed. Disinfect commonly touched surfaces in the home, including toys, doorknobs, and countertops. Limit close contact between infected children and vulnerable individuals such as infants, the elderly, and those with underlying health conditions. If symptoms do worsen, please seek immediate medical attention at your nearest DOH clinic or LBJ hospital. In addition to patients, we also have precautionary measures for primary contacts. This is including parents and guardians of patients that do test positive for RSV. These include monitor for symptoms such as coughing, fever, and difficulty breathing. Practice good hand hygiene by washing hands frequently with soap and water. Wear a mask when around others, especially vulnerable individuals. Avoid sharing personal items such as utensils, cups, and towels. Increase ventilation in indoor spaces by opening windows or using air purifiers. And if symptoms develop, stay home or seek medical attention. Our immunization programs are currently working on an RSV rollout. More information on this rollout will be available on DOH media channels as they come around. So please stay tuned to official DOH media channels for more information on vaccinations and immunizations.
In our news from Apia, a man who alleged that Samoa Airways was transporting narcotics in empty coffins from American Samoa has been charged by police. Here is more.
Samoa's Police Commissioner, Awa Pa'aulong Itino Filipo, confirmed that Mau Hans was taken into police custody last week. He has been released on bail under strict conditions, which require him to check in at the Apia police station every Friday, and he's prohibited from making any comments on social media. Awa Pa'au noted that Hans is facing one charge of harassment using electronic devices, one count of defamation, and one count of using insulting words. He is scheduled to appear in the district court on April 15th. Samoa Airways filed a police complaint against Hans after he made a series of false allegations on social media. Last month, he claimed that the airline was transporting an empty coffin from Pangopango, American Samoa, containing illegal drugs. In a statement, Samoa Airways asserted that these allegations are unfounded. They emphasize that they have strict guidelines and processes to ensure the safe and respectful transport of human remains. They denied Hans' claims, stating that coffins are always transported by family members or authorized representatives on their aircraft. The airline emphasized that Samoa Airways has never transported a coffin in the manner described by Mr. Hans, and there is no truth to the allegations of drug trafficking associated with any cargo handled by the airline. Joyeta Fiangay Madi with your news on KVZK.
And finally, in our news from the region, the United Nations warns that the Pacific children face alarmingly high rates of violence and abuse, which are among the highest in the world. Here is more on this report.
The United Nations says these stems from inadequate government-funded services, persistent religious and cultural barriers, and rising drug use. As representatives from 17 countries gather in Fiji with civil society groups and stakeholders for the inaugural Pacific Child Wellbeing Summit. According to Radio New Zealand, the situation's urgency becomes evident. Participants are told that over half the Pacific's population is under 24, yet a lack of accurate and comprehensive data hinders their understanding of the problem's magnitude. At the summit, the UN Children's Agency, UNICEF, emphasizes the gravity of the crisis. The levels of violence, abuse, and neglect of Pacific children are among the highest in the world. The statistics they have been discussing are alarming, says Jonathan Veitch, UNICEF's Pacific representative. Despite the beauty and richness of the Pacific region, the girls and boys face significant challenges that threaten their well-being, adding that calling for increased regional collaboration and resource sharing to strengthen child protection systems. He said it is only right, but also the smart thing to do. Furthermore, the report noted that the impact of child protection on a country's economic and social development is significant. The Pacific Islands Forum Secretariat says the future of the Blue Pacific continent is our children, and that Pacific leaders have been clear that the region's future cannot be left to chance. The United Nations Human Rights Council's recent 4-yearly review of Fiji uncovers a series of issues, highlighting Fiji's failure to fully implement the Convention on the Rights of the Child while identifying a significant prevalence of child abuse and neglect. And the report recommends taking decisive actions to end child marriage, prostitution, as well as child labor. Joyeta Whengai Mali'i reporting for KVZK.
Stay tuned for your weather and tide report. And that concludes your news from KVZK TV. Have a pleasant evening. Tō whāsifua.